Surprise.
You are trouble.
Trouble is my middle name.
Oh, you're hot.
Why, thank you, so are you. And I'm not afraid to cry.
No, I mean you feel a little feverish.
Well, I've never felt better in my life. My God, you smell good. Listen.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video. And the news revolving around this story, let me be honest, kind of annoys me. Let me explain. For the last couple months, we've heard all these rumors and stories that the reason why we haven't seen the PlayStation 5, or the reason why Sony hasn't shown the PlayStation 5, is because it's overheating and it's melting and it's going fucking supernova, no pun intended. Bro, fucking the reason you haven't seen the PlayStation is because that piece of shit's overheating, bro. It's fucking melting. 12 T-flops, yo. And all the big outlets reported on it. Your IGNs, your Push Squares, your Game Radars, everybody. Even all the YouTubers. Now, I decided to look at the dev kits and say to myself, look at all that massive ventilation on the dev kit. So I'm supposed to believe that PlayStation would put all of this massive ventilation on this dev kit and then somehow not put either equal or adequate ventilation onto the final console design with zero evidence whatsoever. I'm just supposed to blindly believe that that's what happened and that all these PlayStations are overheating. And I chose not to believe it because to me it sounded like bullshit. And now this is the part where I get annoyed, because now all of the news outlets and all of the YouTubers are reporting, guys, it's okay, guys, crisis averted. The PlayStation 5 Cooling Solution is good, and the PlayStations aren't overheating. The PlayStation 5s are A-okay. And what's the reason they've gone from they're melting down to they're not melting down? We have schematics showing the cooling solution of the dev kit. Can anybody explain to me how the schematics of the cooling in the dev kit means that the PlayStation 5s are not overheating? Can someone explain that to me? Now again, I'm not saying the PlayStation 5 is overheating. I never believed that shit. All I'm saying is these people saw what the dev kit looked like originally, just like I did. Then heard rumors that the PlayStation 5 was overheating and decided to report that shit, and some even believe that shit. And now that we have schematics of the cooling solution of the dev kit, now believe the PlayStation 5s aren't overheating. Dude, seriously? Anyway, while we're here, let's briefly go over what we do see in the schematics and what I like about it. First, let's talk about the cooling solutions of the current generation consoles, both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Here's a picture of PS4 Pro with its top removed. What you can't see right now is the heatsink, which actually sits right here, and it's just a collection of fins. It basically acts just like the radiator in your car, which captures cool air in order to cool the rest of the system. It's the same idea here. Now, if you can imagine that lid being on top of this PlayStation 4 Pro, the fan would be kind of sandwiched in between there. There's not a whole lot of space, and that's for a reason. That's going to create the vacuum needed to be able to pull in all the air. So what happens is, with the lid on there and that fan sandwiched between the lid and the rest of the chassis, whatever ventilation there is pulls in cool air. It then gets pulled down into the fan, which pushes it out past those fins of the heatsink, cooling down the components, and then eventually out the exhaust in the back of the console. That's my real shit way of explaining how this machine keeps itself cool. And it's actually the very same way that the Xbox One X keeps itself cool, and the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One S. Basically all of them. With the next generation, we're seeing a lot of changes with that though. First, with the Xbox Series X, this has taken a big change into how these machines are going to dissipate heat. Here's a diagram illustrating how the Series X dissipates heat. We're wondering why it was that weird tower shape, and that's because they've put a massive fan at the top of this console with custom shaped fins and everything to be able to pull out as much heat as possible from this machine. And since heat rises, having that fan at the very, very top is going to be optimal for removing that heat. And as you can see in the diagram, the cool air will come in from the bottom, get pulled up by that giant fan, and pushed out the top of the machine. It's a solution I imagine would probably be pretty effective. I do have to admit, looking at the cooling solution of the Series X, I think it's really cool. Once again, no pun intended.
All right, everyone, chill.
And like I said, I think it'll be pretty effective. And like I said, it's cool because it's different. It's not what we've seen for years and years and years. It's a different idea of how it can be done. And like I said, I think it's really cool. And then we get the schematics of the cooling solution for the PS5 dev kit. And dude, I don't care who you are, this shit's cool. You got fucking 6 fans, 3 on each side. It reminds me of like high-end graphics cards. Like I almost expected it would have like RGB lights fucking built into the damn thing. It's a really cool design as well. I like that it's split in half. It's not trying to cool everything with one fan. You've got what looks like the heatsink on one side and what looks like the power supply on the other. And you've got the air that gets drawn in through the center and then in either direction gets drawn in, through, and out of the system by the fans on either side. Like, if they went with something like this in the final design, I think it's really awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a cool idea. And again, I'm not like a fucking thermal scientist or anything, but I would assume it'd probably be pretty effective. Because not only are you not trying to cool everything with one fan, you've split the workload. You've got 3 fans on this side cooling this, and 3 fans on this side cooling that. And I'd imagine it'd probably have some type of system set up where the fans could throttle up or throttle down individually. So if the heatsink side required more air, that would throttle up, but they wouldn't have to necessarily also throttle up the side with the power supply if it didn't need it, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's just my dumbass analysis of the schematic, so that's that. Anyway, that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next Supernova.